Yo, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is like my second take on this video. Just things happen, but I just wanted to just say that prepare. Yo, what's up? Prepare. Back. Like whatever we're doing. Whatever. Like this is like my second take. Work we're trying to do for a job, or things happen. Concerned about rent, or I just concerned about things. We need to let it go. It's getting to a time. Getting to a time where Christ prepares, like whatever we're doing of Him, whatever the children of the devil. It's work we're trying to do for a job. No in between, like concerned about rent. I love you, God, about things we need to let it go. I want this stuff of the world. It's getting to a time, getting to that time. Christ, so many things are happening. Separating the children. So many things of Him. It's unbelievable. Devil. About the things that are happening. There's no in between. Like y'all probably don't even know that's happening. God, but I want this stuff of the world too. July 8th, 2025. It's getting to that time. It went to do so many things. Sacrifice right now. So many the red heifer for the third, unbelievable. About the things that are happening right now. They have found two small. Y'all probably don't even know that's happening. Two small black hairs, and I want to say that will they July didn't do it as like the ceremony. It went to do practice, so they went sacrifice, killing this red heifer, burning it. It's just that to. For their sacrifice, they would have to. They have found two small black hairs on tools to purify two small black hairs to build the third temple, and they just did do it as like how many of y'all know that practice? So they went through killing this thing. How many of y'all know that? It's just that they're and for their sacrifice, they would have to use the ashes to clean the tools to purify. That's for like the purification to build the third temple. And but if I'm not, but they just did that. How many of y'all know that? I'm just saying. I'm not going to speak out of context. How many of y'all know that? I'm not remembering offhand right now. The third temple. I'm just saying. Later on the text, the purification. But if I'm not later on in the text. They're talking I'm just saying. I know the Antichrist. I'm not going to speak out of context because the Antichrist is coming. I'm not remembering offhand right now. A lot of us are asleep, but we're worried about how just saying we could do better. Later on, do better. When we should be worrying about our relationship with God. They're talking about is Christ living in our vessels. The Antichrist is coming. Are we really practicing? The Antichrist is coming. Commands that He wanted us. A lot of us are asleep. We're worried about how even when someone's being hard-headed and selfish. It says, "Love your enemies." Well, we shouldn't be worrying. Are you even trying to do that? There's people out there that's not really your enemy. They just probably Christ living in our vessels, and you're already trying to be cold. Are we really practicing those? Well, I ain't gonna do that for commands that He wanted us to. So how are you gonna follow the commandment when Christ said, "Love your enemies"? Even when someone's being hard-headed and selfish, it says, "Love your enemies." If you're, are you even trying to do that? There's people out there and that's not really your enemy. They just probably do something selfish. Doing nothing. You're already trying to be cold-hearted to them. Well, you're not doing nothing of it. So how are you gonna follow the commandment when Christ said, "Love your enemies"? You say you believe in them. You're not. If you're talking of Christ, but you're not doing and you say you love Him, but that's like you saying I go to work every day and I work hard, but every time you see me, I'm at home. You're not doing nothing of it. You say you love Him. Doing nothing. Every time. You say you believe in Him. But I go to work. Nah, man. But you're not doing it. We have to. That's like me saying I go to work every day and I work hard. But we have to really evaluate ourselves. We have to really evaluate ourselves. Are we living doing nothing? What Christ would want every time. But I go to work. Think that He wants us to live. But we're really living for ourselves. We have to. What have you done? Or we have to really evaluate ourselves. We have to really evaluate ourselves. Are we living what Christ cursing is not of God? Are we living in a way that we lustfully thinking is not of God? He wants us to live. but we're really living for ourselves.
Doing your will. What have you done?
Depending on what it is.
Or what are you doing right now?
He would want you to follow his commandments. He said, if you love him, to keep his commandments.
Cursing is not. What are you doing?
Lustfully thinking is not.
Are you being a good Samaritan and helping those that
doing your will?
Are you spreading charity? Are you spreading love? Are you spreading
depending on
gospel?
What it is, not of God.
Are you trying to
deny your flesh? Commandments. He said,
are you just waking up every day? What are you doing?
Getting on your phone.
Are you being a good Samaritan?
What you could do
and helping those that are down and out?
Maybe.
Are you spreading charity? Drugs? Are you spreading love? Are you spreading
it says
the gospel?
1 Peter chapter 5
verse. Deny your flesh?
8.
Or are you just
be
waking up every day?
Vigilant for your devil, getting
on your phone
like a roaring lion.
You can't be sober.
You could do
if you're high.
Probably getting drunk.
Can't be sober.
Maybe probably doing drugs.
When it says,
yes, y'all are going to debate about that with like the drinking.
8.
It says drunkenness.
To be sober, be vigilant.
Drunkenness. Now,
your devil.
Of course, they had some celebratory like wine,
lion.
You
can't be sober.
And
if you're
they
high.
also had it for.
Can't be sober if you're drunk.
They also had it for like
y'all are going to debate
about that with like the drinking.
Like if
it says
you're
drunkenness
or whatever to help
drunkenness.
Heal.
Now, of course, they had some celebratory like wine, at a wedding.
So
and
that's what
they also had
not
it
an
for
excess.
So they also had it for like a
and then most of the time that y'all say that.
Like if
why don't y'all show
ill
me
or whatever to help?
How about that?
Heal.
Correction.
When it says that, let's say, like I said, when it says God tells
you
not to cuss,
that's what it's for. It's not an excess.
And you say, no, He loves me for who I am,
and
so
He died for me,
right?
And then most of the time that y'all say
you know the commandments.
Why don't y'all show me?
You know where to look for the commandments.
How about that? Do you know where on it?
It says that.
Let's say, like I said,
it says God
life?
tells you,
or does it
not
say
to
to be
cuss,
a living sacrifice and to
and
follow
say,
Him?
No, He loves me for who I am,
and He died for me,
like Him, so people can see,
Christ
and God through you, through your vessel,
by you obeying to His commands and commandments.
You know where on it,
and like
where
it
says that you can continue living that life,
like the saints.
Does it say to be a living sacrifice?
They
discipled, to follow Him.
They was able to perform healings, miracles,
to be like
because
Him,
they were
so
following
people can see
to God, to
Christ and God through
pleasing
you,
the will of the
Father,
your
vessel,
by
you
Father
to His commands,
using the vessels,
and like the
them,
saints.
Christ was using the vessels to bless, to be
like
able to do those things.
They went out,
they discipled, they was able to perform healings, miracles. They have solid faith
because they were following
strength to God, to Christ, to commandments.
Would you be able to do that?
The Father, and the Father,
and I look at
myself because
through them,
Christ is using the
there's
vessel
times where I
to
want
bless,
to do something,
be able
and
to
I'm
do those things.
Why am I hesitating to do that?
I had no problem doing what was wrong.
They have solid faith. They had solid strength.
Would you be able to do that?
I had no problem doing what was wrong.
And I look at myself because
yelling that out.
There's times where I want to do something,
even when it is wrong.
Like, why am I hesitating?
You feel like kind of embarrassed.
I had no problem
do it, but yet
doing what was
hesitate to do what's right.
Or maybe there is something
no problem
doing
right,
and then like people would attack them.
I had no problem yelling
like,
that out.
I know it's the right thing, but
even when it is wrong,
why are we letting this slide?
And you feel like kind of embarrassed, like you would still
and
do it.
If you don't know, you should ask yourself,
hesitate to do
why
right.
am I letting that slide? Why do I want that to just
or
go?
Maybe there
I know
is something that
correct
what's right,
why
and then
I want
people would attack
that to be
us.
Hush?
Like,
I
know that's the right thing, but let it slide.
Focused on God.
Why are we letting this slide?
Why am I worried about this? Why am I not reading? Why am I
and
not
if you don't know, you should ask yourself,
why am I
only worried about myself?
Why do I want that to just go? I know it's going to correct it, but why
there's times where like
that
I'll
to be
read,
hush, and why am I not focused on God? Why am I worried about this? Why am I not reading? Why am I not trying to remember the scripture?
Why am I only worried about
myself?
On this? I was just focusing on this movie. I was just focusing.
There's times where like
on this, I'll read
letter.
and that I know I'm not interested in, but yet I can focus. Now that I'm trying to focus
I'll
on
read.
the word.
Why am I the moment I read?
Why am I thinking of something else?
Wait a minute. Why am I not focusing on this?
I was just focusing on this.
When I read this, I need to grab this word
on this and say I need to see it. That I know I'm not interested in, but yet
bring
I
it
focus
inside.
I'm trying to focus on the word.
Think about what was said.
Why am I yawning? Why am I thinking of something else while I'm reading this?
Pause on it. When I read this, I need to grab this word, like to meditate
and say it. I need to see it.
Pause on it.
Say it. Don't think
bring
of
it
how you're
thinking.
Think about what was said, not continue with the outside. No. You know, like read it. Let's say
pause on it.
That's what you do. That's like to meditate.
Okay, let's say you are
pause on it. Don't think of how you're thinking. Thinking of.
Let's say you're.
Think of how you would think on the outside.
Let's say you're trying to describe.
You know, like Let's say you see someone that's. And let's just say you see someone in a vehicle.
Okay, driving, let's say you are.
Don't be right now when we're not paying attention.
Let's say
we are the person
that's on the sidewalk
to describe
that's worried about our lives.
Say you see someone that's,
and as long as that vehicle don't come near our path, we are not worried.
Let's just say you see someone in a vehicle driving,
right? That's what we are right
now.
Don't
be right now when we're not paying attention.
Some of us,
we are the person
we are trying to read
that's on
the sidewalk.
So when we are
worried about our lives,
we're that driver.
As long as that vehicle don't come near our path, we're not worried about
that watches the cars.
Right?
That's what we are right now. Now, there's some of us that we are trying to go, right?
That's kind of looking at here.
We are kind of looking at here, but still kind of
that driver,
or we're that person that watches the cars.
The
ones that are readers, we need to be the actual driver.
That's
the actual
that sees where they go.
We're
that's kind of looking.
We're
at
following.
Kind of looking at here, but still kind of worried.
We're not going on our own astray. We are on.
Whereas
in you, we are in the
ones
that
are
readers.
Represent
we need to be
your secret,
the actual driver. You know, and you're the actual okay. We're
and then like as you're driving,
we're following.
We're aware.
But what do you got to do?
We're not going on our own astray.
We are
in you.
So we're not just in the car just driving.
Represent
like your secret
room. Paying
attention. We're seeing this sign. You're seeing that sign. You know, we're watching this.
And then like as you're driving,
we're trying to be aware.
Sober.
What do you got to do when you watch
for?
You know,
pay attention
to traffic lights.
You have to pay attention.
Someone that might try to.
So we're not just in the car just driving.
You know, to try to.
No, we're paying attention.
Avoid that.
Seeing this sign. We're
seeing that sign.
Or to
handle
it
this
peacefully, handle it righteously.
We're trying to be alert,
sober,
by following the
commands.
You know, when
the
it
traffic
says to
lights.
Stop at that light,
or
someone that might try to slip in our path.
You don't stop,
to try
to, that next thing,
you
just run right
avoid
into
that.
Boom.
Conflict.
Crash.
Handle it peacefully.
Handle
it
righteously.
Like I said, or maybe you're just,
by following the
commands.
And then you start to pay attention
at that light.
Let's say you're looking
and like
you don't stop.
Someone
that
next thing
could
just
run right into you.
Men could be looking at an attractive women.
Women
could be looking at a man.
Or maybe
you could be looking at, or maybe you're just
something like
you're in the vehicle.
I don't know.
Car,
you start to pay
attention.
Something.
And let's say you're looking at,
take your eyes off.
And even though you're with someone you like in the vessel,
you still
can
crash.
be looking at an attractive woman.
Women,
you
swerve
a man.
Or you can be looking at.
Need to be like when we're
something
driving.
Like a nice.
We need to be
focused.
Car, dress,
locked
in
on
something.
the road.
Locked in on
and you take your eyes off.
And
even though you're
happen.
Nobody's
in
a
the
perfect
vessel,
driver.
You still can crash.
Some sort of accidents. or you swerve. Every now and then you might get a little fender bender here and there. We need to be like when we're driving. As long as you stay in God, focus. God will upgrade. Locked in on the road. If you're riding in this vehicle and you're staying in the road, upgrade. Accidents happen if it's in His will. Nobody's a perfect. It's in His will to upgrade, but I'm just saying some sort of accidents. Every now and then you might get a little fender bender here and there. So as long as you stay in God, I hope that explained everything. Upgrade I hope that helped. If you're riding in this vehicle, let y'all know, like, listen, we need to be vigilant. We need to stop worrying about waking up. It's in His will to upgrade, but I'm just saying, progression in the world, greater understanding. God first. So I give thanks to God. I hope that explained everything. I hope that helped. We need to be so laser focused. Let y'all know, like, listen, we need to be vigilant. Nothing else. Stop worrying about waking up. Yeah, we'll go through it and worrying about when those trials or situations in the world and worrying about God first. Give thanks to God. We'll be like appreciate feeling it, and then we need but to. But it won't be so laser focused. He'll get us on Him. He'll get us nothing else because we know. That we'll go through happening. We're not focused on that. We're focused on Him. That's how we get our strength. That's our strength to God. That because we have the hope. Okay, we have to focus. We'll be like, we have to believe. Feeling it. We are in His word. It won't discourage us. That's how we're in the Spirit. He'll get us. That's how we don't because we know that while this is happening, we're not like focused on that. We're focused on Him. That's how we get our strength. That's our strength. If you're because we have the hope, Spirit, you have to focus. Yes, you're gonna feel it, but you're so in His word. Spirit, God will give you. That's how we're in the Spirit. That's how we go through it to understand. But if feel flesh, like the flesh so convinced that your flesh experience it. So if you're focused on all you know is that. Yes, you're gonna feel it, but all you know is that in the Spirit. God will give you, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel those attacks to understand way more. But if you're gonna feel it because your mind is locked in on the flesh, so convinced that your flesh to that. That when He attacks it, I mean, all you know is that. Like I said, God loves us. All you know is but we gotta love God. And you're gonna feel it. You gotta live in the Spirit. You're gonna feel those attacks. You gotta live in the Spirit way more. You're gonna feel it because your mind is locked in on the flesh. So it's because we all know we're going to die. We all know we're going to die. I mean, like I said, God loves us. Believe in heaven and hell. We gotta love God too. We gotta live in the Spirit. Open your eyes, Spirit, and understand that. Like we have, because we have to. Now I'm going because we all know we're going to die. Here's the thing: we all know we have all these other beliefs. Some of us that's don't want to believe in heaven and hell. How come I don't hear none of those other beliefs talking about open your eyes, predictions and prophecies, and that they're actually coming true? Because I'm only hearing that. Look at me now. I'm going Bible because not only I'm hearing that from the Bible, we are seeing all these other beliefs. People are still trying not to hear it in the world, but they're believing. How come I don't hear none of those other beliefs talking any about shred of real predictions and prophecies, and then we're seeing coming true. We're seeing it. I'm only hearing people are still refusing the Bible, and not only I'm hearing that from the Bible, we are seeing it, and people are still trying not to hear it, but they're believing. Have you ever thought about false doctrines? Have you ever thought about showing like any shred of real proof? Gods from Hindu, and then we're seeing like that. Proof. We're seeing it, and people are still refusing to believe. Water turning red. There'll be earthquakes. Have you ever thought about that? Part of the world, fires in part of the other world. Have you ever thought about that? Did it say that it was going to build a third temple? The false gods. Y'all don't even understand or whatever like that. Y'all don't even understand that they stopped that like 2,000 years ago. It prophesied all of this. And water turning red. So many of us is in this technology, but yet they still brought back this fires in part of the other world to show you. Did it say that it was going to build a third temple? Y'all thought y'all was over this watch. It came back in a time. Y'all don't even understand that they stopped that like 2,000 years ago, according to history. And
like so many of us is in this technology earlier when they built the first two, but it came back in the time when people wasn't even like that to show you. And they're doing the very same things. Y'all thought y'all was over this watch. It came back. It just so happens to line up when the red heifers came to pass in that according to history. Do you hear any of that? Temple could have been built earlier when they built the first two, but it came back in the time when people. And if you do hear like something, you hear them talking about, and they're doing the very same things. When and Christ comes, it just so happens to line up Antichrist when the red heifers came to pass their Messiah or whatever. Do you hear any of that going on? And he's bringing up things of the flesh. No. And if you hear something, you hear them talking about the Bible is true, when and it's supporting it, but then it's Christ trying to tell you another thing. Or when the Antichrist comes, when the Bible came out saying that their Messiah, if an angel came to you with a different doctrine, and he's bringing up things of the flesh, let them be accursed. That came out before. It's telling you that the Bible some of this stuff came out. And it's supported, but then it's trying to tell you another thing. Remember that word. When the Bible came out saying that word. If an angel came to you, a lot of us would be deceived. Doctrine. A lot of us would have been deceived with that. Let them be accursed. That came out before. Like I said, some of this stuff I just want to let y'all know, and if we would really have to wake up, we really have to pay attention. Remember that word. We really have to pay attention. This is really remember that word. This is really happening. A lot of us wouldn't be deceived. A lot of us wouldn't have been deceived with that. We're so caught up in the world, but in the distractions. Like I said, I just want to let y'all know, we really have to wake up. We really have to pay attention. We really have to pay attention. We got to really put our eyes on God, man. It's really happening. On God. We are here. All this stuff right here on earth, all this stuff that we have. We're so caught up. When we go, we cannot in the take world, this with us. In the distractions. And I don't want any of us to be, when it comes to that time to see him. You know how difficult. Difficult it's gonna be. Put our eyes on God, man. When you're up there with Him, on face to face. All this stuff right here on earth, all this stuff that we have. Well, when we go, we cannot take this with us. I told you this, and I showed you. And I don't want any of us to be. Do when it comes to that time to see Him? You know how difficult. You know how anything that I told you to do. When you're up there with Him face to face. How about I gave you a life and I gave you a warning? I gave you this. And you worried about yourself, which I showed you. It's something I told you what did you do in your life? That if you don't turn from this, did you do anything that I told you to do? Did you at least try? It could cost you your soul. How about I gave you a life and I gave you warnings? I was just worried about you. Worried about yourself, what you could get. It's something I told you that was passing away. I gotta get it. I gotta live. That if you don't turn from this, come on, think, man, think. You know what I'm saying? It could cost. And then you also got to think about it. What are you gonna tell them? All those in heaven. I was just worried about me. All So. You know when it says like I gotta get it, I gotta heaven on earth. Let your will be done. Come on, think. In heaven on earth. If and then you also got to think His will was done. This. Check me out on this. All those in heaven, if we all so follow when it says like heaven on earth, have heaven on earth. Let your will be done. Did you realize that on earth, when Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem comes, if His will on earth and He would dwell with us, all of those brethren of before and people before that have obeyed God and that are blessed, we would have heaven on earth. Kingdom. Do you know that they're going to be living by His commandments? When Jerusalem, the new Jerusalem, with that comes, being said, do you realize there's going to be no more crime with us? Murders, all those, there's still going to be no more of that, none of that wickedness for everybody that have obeyed God and that are He just blessed, said that eternally to enter the kingdom. Do you know that follow Him? They're going to be living by His commandments. We probably wouldn't be having all. With that being said, do you realize there's going to be no more crimes? Because one person murders something out of pride. There's still going to be no more of that, none of that wickedness because everybody will be on accord. Pride was. And He just said. that if we here on earth was to follow him, greed, like, overindulging and all of that, be having all of this. Come on, man. Be having all of this. Because one person the perversions of lustful thinking, one person to do something out of greed. Shoot, pride was the sin. The stuff to please your Satan. There's things that people do to harm themselves that, like, overindulging and all of that. The very thing, that we are told the perversions of we gotta fight to please that. Just so,
you know what I'm saying?
The stuff, and I see the curse behind there's things that people do to harm themselves that pleases the flesh. And you keep pleasing the flesh. The very thing the flesh is gonna want to do that sin. We are told that we gotta fight. The flesh is gonna want to do sin to please that. And guess where that goes? Just so if you die in sin, guess I'm not. And I see someone to die in sin because when you disobey, what does sin leads to? Death. And you keep pleasing the flesh. What's going to be the flesh is going to want to do sin. Flesh. The flesh is going to want to do soul, sin, I should say. And guess where that goes? If you die in sin, guess I'm not. If someone's to die in sin, when you follow God's word, sin leads follow His commandment, death. God. What's going to be give you burning forever? To your soul, flesh, pleasing to your soul. Your soul, the fruits of the spirit. Say, your soul pleasing to the soul. Even when you're going through burdens, your soul. The burdens feel stressful. When you follow God's word, when you follow His commandment, it's God, wonderful. In Christ, they give you still have a peace where, like, it's a lot to your soul. It's still pleasing to your soul. The fruits still have a strength to keep going through it. Even though you're tired, still go through it. Even when you're going through burdens, the burdens feel stressful, but you still have a strength. And your soul, He gives it to you. It's wonderful. And I'm gonna kind of explain. So you can still think clearly. I don't know how many y'all still have felt this because now keep going through it. Even though you're tired, but when you go through food. When you eat real good food, like some really good food, giving you strength, and your soul, He gives you get the itis soul. Not. And I'm gonna kind of explain. So I'm talking about that. I don't know how many y'all have felt this because now that things is changing. Giggles, but when you eat food, the laughter, real the joy, food, like some real that's good what Christ. Food. And God, that's what God and Christ does to your soul. Not on a much more. Not talking about the sleepy part, magnified level. I'm talking about that pleasing feeling. Not the